President Trump's 25% tariffs on all foreign-made vehicles and parts could lead to significant price hikes for cars, both new and used.
On your sides, Christine Lazar is here to explain how this could impact you and your wallet. My mom is someone who works in this industry, and she was saying that it's one of those things that when you have so many plants that make the parts now in other countries, that's where we could actually really end up paying a lot is when we have a problem with our vehicle.
Yeah, so, and it's twofold, right? So it's not just foreign-made cars, it's also American automakers. They
Correct.
still use the parts that will have the tariffs on them. So analysts were hearing between $3,000 and $12,000 increase on prices.
Just in the price of the car.
Just in the prices. So this is going to impact consumers. The import taxes are set to go into effect on April 2nd. Most car lots carry about 60 days of inventory, so that means we, the consumer, could see prices rise as we head into summer. I'm joined now by Jessica Caldwell with the car buying website Edmunds. Jessica, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
My pleasure.
So I think the first thing our viewers want to know is how will these tariffs impact the price of a new car and also a used car?
Yeah, I mean, definitely we're going to see. It's got to shake out. But people keep talking about, oh, well, this car's made in America, it should be fine. Like you had just mentioned, every car out there has parts from other countries. So those will be tariffs. So we should see an increase. It really comes down to how much car companies are willing to absorb. But it is likely that all those incentives you see out there, like the 2.9% financing or $5,000 cash back, those are likely going to be the first to go because you're not going to offer incentives when you have to hike the price as well. It's going to be a bit tough. And because there's going to be so much demand for used vehicles, because everyone's thinking those won't be tariffed, they already exist. Because that demand is going to go up, we're expecting to see used prices also go up because it's just a classic case of supply and demand.
Now, President Trump says these tariffs will prompt automakers to move their production here to the U.S. But is that something that can be done quickly?
It's not something that can be done quickly. You think about an auto factory, a car, hundreds of cars are involved. It's a very lengthy, laborious process. And you think about the safety standards that have to be and have to happen to make a factory work. So it can be done. It's just a long time horizon in which it could. And these auto companies, they've set up for NAFTA. So they've set up factories in Mexico and Canada thinking it's all going to be fine. And now it's not the case. So it's not a situation where you could just make a quick snap decision. It's not, cars are a complex process. It just doesn't happen that fast.
Now, we talked a little bit about this because some might say, okay, well, then I'm going to buy an American-made car because that will be, somewhat insulated from these price hikes. But how much of a factor of those parts that they buy, say in Canada or Mexico, how much do they contribute to the price of that car?
It's going to be quite significant. I mean, there's a lot of vehicles, like take the F-150, for instance, the Ford truck, everyone knows that one. A lot of its transmissions and engines, they come from Canada and Mexico, and those are big ticket items. They're not a $5 part. So you think about tariffing that vehicle, even though it is assembled here in the United States, it'll still face a big incremental cost. So I think when also I'm hearing news reports out there like, well, if the car's made in America, everything is fine. It's just not going to be the case. If it's sold here, it has parts from other countries. So it could be subject for a price increase.
And just real quickly, as an expert, if someone says, I know I'm going to need a new car soon, do they buy it right now? Do they wait for this to kind of shake out? What would your advice be to a consumer?
I mean, if you're in the situation where you have to return your lease or, the baby's coming next week, I'd say it's probably a good idea to buy sooner than later. We don't know. There's a lot of speculation how long these tariffs will last. Will they last a week, 2 weeks, 3 months? But if you're probably in the financial position where you cannot absorb these extra costs that will be brought on by the tariffs, because we know that will happen, it is safer to buy sooner rather than later. And right now, inventory is good. The incentives aren't bad. So it's not a bad time to be in the car market.
All right, Jessica, thank you so much for all that information. Really good stuff there.